That's our correspondent, Mary Bird, with yesterday's close right there in the U.S. Now, moving on to our next conversation. Well, it's all about moving Africa towards a digitally inclusive and rights-respecting continent. That was a major focus for the Paradigm Initiative. We'll discuss the outcome of the forum now with Adeboye Adegoke, Senior Program Manager at Paradigm Initiative. Join us right here. Great to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so what would you say are the limitations to Africans fully taking advantage of digital innovations?
The limitations, or if you like, the bottlenecks are many. First would be, the infrastructural challenges that Africa has to grapple with because digital technology thrives or rides on basic infrastructure. And when I say basic infrastructure, I mean like light, electricity, and the quality of the internet service that we have in Africa. As a matter of fact, we still have a problem or challenges with internet penetration across different countries in Africa. So that is a big challenge for innovation. But besides this, we also have challenges in terms of understanding of technology at the policy-making level. It's also a challenge that those who make law
All right, seems we have a little glitch there with Adeboye right there. He was talking about... Adeboye, I don't know if you can hear me now.
I can hear you very well.
Okay, you can finish your thought that we had a little interruption with the network there.
Oh, okay. So I was making the point that basic infrastructural challenges are a huge barrier to digital innovation on the continent. And that in addition to that, we also have challenges in terms of policy making. To make decisions regarding policy, mostly people are unfamiliar with this technology. The policymakers grapple with understanding technology and in terms of lack of capacity to make the right policy that can unleash the digital potential for digital innovation on the continent.
All right, so but what do you think government and regulators can do to allow, freedom with digital usage in Africa?
We need to take the subject of connectivity very seriously. The digital divide is still very huge. Almost half of Africa is still not on the internet. So we need to prioritize that. African governments need to prioritize that and ensure that we continue to deepen expansion. If you look at the numbers across Africa, it's not encouraging. I mean, you have the best numbers from countries like Nigeria, where we have close to 60% penetration. But if you move towards Central Africa, we are looking at about 20% on the average. Even if you look, if you move outside of Central Africa to East Africa, I mean, they have decent numbers to between 30 and 40. But if you go to Southern Africa, apart from South Africa that has about 50 something, most of the countries in Southern Africa, some of them even have, like Malawi, for example, has about 30% penetration. So you can see that these numbers are not encouraging. So that has to be solved and taken on, head on, and ensure that you have internet penetration across the length and breadth of the continent. But once we get that out of the way, we can then begin to talk about the policy issues that seem to stand as a barrier. Because if you look at policy response to digital technology in Africa, unfortunately, it has been much about taxation. It has been much about fighting the negative use of digital technology. So you see cybercrime laws that have very big provisions that unfortunately can even close that digital space up. So we need to address those issues and ensure that while we're trying to, cure the headache, we don't throw the baby out of the bait, with the bathwater. So these are some of the things that African government, and more importantly, African government also need to work together in terms of coming up with best ideas. They should not work in silos. But lastly, we must also rely a lot on the expertise that exists outside of the government, because the kind of capacity required to drive digital innovation, digital prosperity in Africa doesn't exactly exist in government. So government must rely a lot on collaboration, multi-stakeholderism, trying to leverage expertise that exists outside of government.
All right, before I let you go now, briefly, do you think taxing big tech companies is the right move, by most African governments as they're proposing at this time?
I mean, first thing, taxes are legitimate. In other words, it's legitimate to tax businesses, but we need to contextualize this. We cannot tax our way out of, our digital advantage right now. We must tax appropriately. I said earlier that the major thing or challenge that is facing us is the need for us to ensure that we expand participation online. Make sure that we bring the rest 50% of Africans that are not online, make sure that we bring them online. Now, when you tax big tech at this point in time, especially those who provide such services, you are even making it difficult to get more people online, because it then means that the cost of access will increase. We have challenges with affordability. So that is why we have to contextualize the conversation around taxes. Like I said, taxes are legitimate, but then we must be very careful in terms of how we introduce those taxes, for example. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Adeboye Adegoke, Senior Program Manager, Paradigm Initiative. Thank you so much for giving us your perspective on the program.
Thank you for having me.